and organic production of some few commercial vegetable crops like brinjal, chili, tomato, and some bio inputs preparations, and how can we get the organic certification. These are the topic today we are going to see. Before going to the topic organic farming, you should know what is organic farming. It's nothing but it's a unique production management system which promotes and enhances the agro ecosystem health, which includes biodiversity, biological cycles, and soil biological activity. This will be achieved from on-farm agronomic and biological and mechanical methods, excluding of off-farm synthetic materials. Okay, this is the very crystal clear definition of the organic farming. Now, in the first phase, Sir Albert Howard he is from British botanist who has started organic, who has introduced the organic agriculture in the world. But second one, Lord Northbourne, is a person who has given name as a organic. Why you want to go for organic farming? Because before going to the topic, this question will be raised many of the farmers and administrators and researchers and policy makers. Because agriculture is classified into two: traditional agriculture and conventional agriculture. What is meant by traditional agriculture? Very long back, more than 50 years before, we don't know, our farmers don't know what are the nutrients required for the crop, and they don't have any inorganic fertilizers available in the market, no pesticides availability, no fungicides, no nematicide, nothing is available in the market, but they have done some very good agriculture. What they will do? They simply feed the soil. They simply feed the soil with what are the things available from the farm residues, crop waste, and the livestock waste. They just feed the soil. The soil in turn feed the plant. This is the thing happened in traditional agriculture. Okay, this is nothing but it's organic agriculture. Then our conventional agriculture, okay, it's conventional horticulture. In the past 50 years, our researchers, our university, the world has given what are the essential nutrients required for each crop and how it can be supplemented, and it's available in the market. Then we started directly giving the nutrients to the crop. Instead of feeding to the soil, we are directly feeding to the crop requirements. Here is a problem rises on one side. At the time of 1960, in our Green Revolution period, at the time we have introduced our fertilizer responsive varieties and hybrids to overcome the famine. So we depend on the fertilizer responsive hybrids and varieties, and we have dumped the synthetic fertilizers and pesticides to increase the yield. Yes, we have reached the maximum level of productivity, and we have feed the entire population in the country, and we are in a position to even to export the food grains to the other countries. What is the situation happened? The one side we have reached the highest level of productivity, and we have fed all kinds of essential nutrients, oilseed pulses, the grains to the very poor peoples through public distribution system. And at the same time, we have polluted the soil. That's a major damage what you have done in the last 50 years. So that's why recently, in the past 10 years, farmers frequently used to say, sir, I have given with very good hybrid, I have given maximum amount of fertilizers, I have given with very newly released pesticides in the market, but I have not realized the productivity level has not been increased. Why? What's the reason for that? The reason is we have polluted the soil. That's a major reason. Because whatever the nutrients we have supplied to the soil, it's to be synthesized by the microbes and make available to the crop. For example, if you apply Formian manure, it will improve the soil structure, porosity, all physical characters, chemical characters, everything, and it will feed the microbial population in the soil. So the microbes gets increased in population, and worms and gets increased in population, and simultaneously the soil health has been increased. Now we are directly giving the nutrients to the crop, so the soil microbial population has been reduced like anything. So thereby we are in a position to revitalize the soil. Okay, then only we can get the increased productivity level. That's the reason for it. Deteriorating soil health and fertility. You can see 1971, compared to temperate countries, the organic matter content will be high than our tropical countries. In tropical countries like us, we in 1971 it's 1.2, but now it's 0.68. You can imagine, matter of that 50 years, the organic carbon has been reduced like anything. Okay, depleting resources like water. We have to increase the productivity. We have dug borewells, and we have taken the water from very deeper layer, and we have converted the rainfed area into irrigated area, and we flood the most of the crop which does not require much of water. Like that, indiscriminate usage of water resulting in depleting resources in water. Then environmental degradation. This has happened. Yes, continuous operations in the soil make the natural phenomena gets damaged. Quality deterioration of produce is certainly growing cost and diminishing returns of in agriculture. The input cost rise day by day to meet out the demand. The cost of cultivation naturally be high. So that's the case. Need. Okay, this is challenges. What's the need? Production of production to keep pace with growing population. Still, we are in a position to feed the entire peoples with all essential nutrient foods, fruits, vegetables, and food grains, everything. Increasing the production with the minimum resources. Minimum resources means land, labor, and water, and capital. These are the major resources. Land, due to industrialization, urbanization, getting reduced. Then labor, again, we are having only very aged laborers now. Then again, resources, indiscriminate usage of all our resources is wasted. And capital, if you invest 1 rupee, we are not assured to get back of 1 rupee. That's the situation here. Mitigating the climate change. Yes, this is one of the major. Frequently, we are facing drought and flooding. North India frequently flooding, in South India frequently drought. Ensure quality without residues. We should give a quality product without any residues, pesticide residue, whatever it may be. So organic agriculture is base foundation, is health is a base foundation for organic agriculture, where the ecology, care, and fairness are the pillars. Okay. Yes, our TNAU come out with a model. Suppose a farmer want to go for an organic farming. Over a night or over a year, you cannot change your farming system model to organic farming. For example, live fence, you should have some glycidia, annual moringa and banana, curry leaf, and crop components, and silpal in vermicomposting, and pest repellent cafeteria, and agroforestry, and dairy, and some desmanthus and Kambu Napier like that. We should have TNAs come out with one model. These kinds of models should have each and every farmer should have started initiating this component. Within 2 or 3 years, you can attain a organic farmer situation. Self-sustaining. LISA, low external input sustainable agriculture, is the first criteria for organic agriculture. Okay. What the sustainable organic agriculture department in TNA is doing? We are developing organic package of practices for the various crops, agriculture and horticulture crops, and evaluation of response of different crop varieties suitable for organic farming. For example, in rice, we have the organic situation. We have evaluated more than 20 traditional varieties. We have found that Maapalai Samba has given double the yield in organic. Like that, each and every, some crops have given minus negative effect. Most of the crops have given positive effect. Okay. Then we are giving training to the farmers, rural youth, and urban terrace gardeners, and extension officials, KVK trainers, NGOs, participatory guarantee system, regional council members. This PG is nothing but the informal group without any certification. They can sell the produce. That one is two category: PGS green and PGS organic. Then technical staffs of PGS. Then we are doing geo-referencing of organic clusters all over Tamil Nadu. The organic farmers growing groups we have identified, and also we are giving farm advisory services, certificate course in organic farming, and PG diploma in organic farming, and sensitizing students through courses. And one more information, we are selling the inputs like Panchagavya and vermicompost like that. Organic inputs we are selling in huge quantities from our department. Now we will do the production aspect of your brinjal, chili and tomato. First we will see the brinjal. the soil, well-drained soil. This matter you may be knowing the rich in organic matter with the pH of 6.5 to 7.5. The season is two seasons, December, January, and May, June. Then for the nursery bed preparation requires about 10 kg of farmyard manure, neem cake 1 kg, VAM 50 gram per meter square before sowing. Then this is meant for area 100 meter square nursery area. Seed rate for varieties 400 gram per hectare, hybrids 200 gram per hectare. Then seed treatment. Again, Trichoderma viridi 4 gram and or Bacillus subtilis 10 gram per kg of seed. Azospirillum 40 gram for 400 gram of seeds using rice gruel as addition. In the main field, apply Azospirillum and Bacteria 2 kg per hectare by mixing with 50 kg of FIM. Irrigate the furrows and transplant 30 to 35 days old seedlings at 60 centimeter apart. Nutrient management, this is vary to the crop. For varieties, basal dose FIM 6.2 tons, 2.25 tons per hectare. Top dressing, vermicompost 3.5 tons per hectare on 30th day of planting during earthing up. For hybrids, basal dose here, farmyard manure we have to give as usual 12.5 tons per hectare. For top dressing, vermicompost 7 tons per hectare on 30th day after planting. Spacing for varieties 60 by 60, hybrids 90 by 60. Weed management, here comes your polythene sheets, low density polyethylene sheets with a 25 micron sheets can be used to control, arrest the weeds, and for hand weeding. In addition to that, we have to go for hand weeding on 50 and 30, 45 days after planting on 45th day of earthing up. Pest management, your pheromone trap 12 per hectare for shoot and fruit borer, yellow sticky trap 12 per hectare for sucking pest, azadirachtin at the rate of 1%, NSK or 3G or 5G, 5 leaf herbal extract at 5%. I will give in detail of the 3G and 5 leaf herbal extract in the coming slides. Disease management, foliar spray of Bacillus subtilis 0.5%. For nematode, Perquisilium lycaceum 2.5 kg as basal. Yield in the varieties can get up to 25 to 30 tons per hectare, and hybrids case of 60 to 80 tons per hectare. This is for brinjal. This is the inside. You can see the field view. This is our organic demonstration field in our university. We are maintaining a farm purely with organic. Now we will look into the chilies. Well-drained loamy soil with again 6.5 to 7.5. January to February is the season, and June, July, and September, October, totally 3 seasons. Seed rate variety 1 kg for hybrid 200 to 250 gram per hectare. Seed treatment with Trichoderma viridi or Bacillus subtilis and Azospirillum 40 gram. For nursery, for 100 meter square area, farmyard manure 10 kg, neem cake 1 kg, and VAM 50 gram per hectare per 100 meter square. Main field, Azospirillum Bacteria at the rate of 2 kg per hectare, 50 kg FIM, and time of transplanting 40-50 days at 60 centimeter apart. Spacing for variety 60 by 45, hybrid 75 by 60. Nutrient requirement, basal dose FIM 7.5 tons and top dressing with vermicompost 3.75 tons per hectare in equal splits on 30, 60 and 90. For weed management, again with this mulch, polythene sheet mulch, and hand weeding at 15, 30, 45 and earthing upon 45th day. Intercropping with the onion and coriander will give the additional income and it will suppress the weed growth. Pest management, erection of bird perches, growing sorghum agathi as border for the management of thrips. collection and destruction of damaged fruits and caterpillars, yellow sticky trap at 12 per hectare to control sucking pest, pheromone trap 12 per hectare for Spodopteran helicoverpa, azadirachtin 1%, NSK or 3GR 5-leaf extract at 5% spray. Disease management again with your Bacillus subtilis, nematode, Perpicillium lycasinum 2.5 kg as basal. Yield here varieties 2 to 3 tons per as dry bud, 10 to 15 tons as green chilies, hybrids 25 tons per hectare as green chilies. We'll see for the tomato. Here is again 6.5 to 7.5 soil pH, season May, June and November, December. Nursery, same FIM 10 kg, neem cake 1 kg and VAM 50 gram. Seed rate varieties 300 to 350 gram per hectare, hybrids 100 to 150 gram per hectare. Seed treatment again same Trichodoma viridi, Bacillus subtilis and Azospirillum. In main field, Azospirillum and Plasmobacteria, the rate of 2 kg plus 50 kg of FIM and transplant and 40 to 50 days at a spacing of 60 centimeter. Spacing for PKM1, Pivir1, Protease 2, DNA tomato hybrid 60/45, Co3 45/30. Nutrient management for varieties basal dose FIM 7.5 tons per hectare. For top dressing vermicompost 3.5 tons per hectare on 30 days after planting. For hybrid basal dose FIM 10 tons per hectare, top dressing with vermicompost 5 tons per hectare in equal splits on 30, 60 and 90 days. 90 days after planting. Weed management again with your low density polyethylene mulch seeds, hand weeding on 50, 30, 45 and earthing up on 45. Pest management same in the case of previous crop. Erection of bird perches and sorghum agati is a border crop, and collection damage of fruits and caterpillars, yellow sticky trap 12, pheromone trap 12, foliar spray of azadirachtin, NSKE and 3G and 5-leaf extract. Disease management, Bacillus subtilis, nematode, Perpicillium lycasinum. Yield for varieties 30 to 40 tons per hectare, for hybrids 80 to 95 tons per hectare. So far we have seen the production technology for major 3 horticulture crops. The picture you can see the cowpea and lab as border crops to conserve and increase the activity of natural enemies. Okay. Coriander as border crop to increase the activity of pollinators and natural enemies. The previous slides we have seen in our demonstration plot, the borders we have raised with coriander and with the previous piece cluster bean under. Now we will see some of the bio inputs preparation. How we prepare the bio inputs like vermicompost, Panchagavya, 3G extract and 5-leaf herbal extract. In the case of vermicompost, there are 3 types of there. Euryalus eugeniae, Icenia cordida and Perinox excavatus, but African night crawler. Euryalus eugeniae, we are commonly using this one. How these vermicomposting processes? Select a level ground, spread a layer of powdered cow dung to a height of 22.5 centimeter and moisten it. Collect earthworms from the field locally and release them in the heap. Ensue to water, moisten and soil and cow dung bed daily. Earthworms would consume the cow dung and leave the excreta in the form of heaps. Remove the heaps every week and dry them in the shade. Within 45 to 60 days, about 10 kg of castings vermicompost would have been produced per kg of worms. When the cow dung layer disappears, replenish with cow dung. Remove this layer superficially and then dry it in the shade. Vermicompost. Along with cow dung, Any vegetable matter can also be added. There are methods of composting, conversion. For 1,000 adult worms weighs about 1 kg, and 1 kg of adult can convert 5 kg of waste crop waste per day. 1,000 worms are recommended for 1 meter square of area. Bedding materials, what are the crop residues can be used: shredded fallen leaves, chopped straw, sawdust, dried grass clippings, peat moss, fibrous garden matter such as corn husk. These are all the crop residues can be used as a bedding material. These are three type of methods: spread method, heap method, and pit method. These are some of the structures used for production of vermicompost. Monitoring of beds and storage of vermicompost. What are the important things to be monitored? Watering is very, very important. 60% of moisture you have to maintain. Enriching vermicompost with Acidobacter, Azospirillum, and Phosphobacteria. And timely harvesting is you have to done. And harvesting of earthworm timely is very, very essential. While storing the vermicompost, to be stored in dark and cool place, so it should have a minimum of 40% moisture. Should pack it only at the time of selling. Maintaining moisture level by sprinkling water can be stored for 1 year. The nutrients available in the vermicompost, you can see the nitrogen, phosphorus, potash, zinc, copper, magnesium, ferrous, fungi, and bacteria, Actinomyces, and Acidobacter. These are the nutrients available in the iron. You can see the iron content, how much iron content is available. Now we will see the next input, bio input, Panchagavya. Panchagavya is 5. There are so many additional new changes have been made from Panchagavya. Originally the Panchagavya is from 5 products: cow dung 5 kg, cow urine 3 liters, cow milk 2 liters, and cow curd 2 liters, and cow ghee 1 kg. Mix cow dung and ghee and keep it for 3 days first. Then after 3 days, the remaining ingredients are mixed thoroughly. Keep for 15 days with regular mixing both in morning and evening. Keep under the shade and cover with mesh and clean gunny bag dipped in water. Then after 15 days, it is ready for spray. This is the method for Panchagavya. Now we will see the next input, 3G. This is ginger, garlic, and green. This 3G, each 1 kg. Then another ingredients, cow urine 3 liter. Here, grind ginger, garlic, green chili separately with cow urine 1 liter per kg. Mix the ingredients then. Ferment it for 10 days. Filter the content and spray at the rate of 5%. That's a foliar spray. This is a pest repellent. Now we will see the 5 leaves herbal insect repellent. This Vitex, Nuchi, Agave, Tetralai, Datura, Umutai, Calotropis, Ericu, and your neem leaves. These are all the 5 leaf herbal extracts. Grind the leaves, make it as a paste using 5 liters of cow urine. Keep the mixer in plastic or earthenware. Don't use metal. Allow to ferment for 15 days and then filter and go for spray. With adding with 100 liters of water. Okay. Now we have seen all the 5 important organic inputs, production procedure. Now we'll go for the organic certification procedures. Why you want to go for organic certification? Okay, these are some of the centers available in the cities purely with organic. There are why you want to go for certification? Certification is a process given by the NPOP standards, based on the NPOP standards. Food Safety Standards and Authority of India. The logo below, you can see the logo. These are all the organic logo given by the government. Some data. In the world, 2.9 million producers are there. And organic producers are there. India ranks first in the world. And 40% of this area is in Asia. And you can see the increase in organic producers. From 1999 onwards, 1,300 times increase number of organic farmer growers. Okay. In India, ranks first in organic producers with 8,35,000 farmers. Why organic food expensive than conventional? Certification process cost, then the handling of the limited quantity makes the cost of cultivation high. The more care requires more labor and post-harvest handling to be taken care. On marketing, distribution, everything and each and every stages, specific care involves high cost. So thereby, the cost of production will be a little bit high. In Tamil Nadu, TNOCD, Tamil Nadu Organic Certification Department is the only approving organic certification approving agency approved by the NPOP. It's established in 2007. Its objective is to carry out inspection and certification of organic production system in accordance with the NPOP launched by Government of India in the year 2000. This notified in October 2001 under the Foreign Trade and Development Act. This TNOCD is accredited by APIDA. The NPOP has two categories, APIDA and state departments. The APIDA is the export certification agency and the departments, state departments are for domestic certification agency. Okay. This is the accreditation number allotted to our TNOCD. Organic certification carried out by this department is on par with standards of European Union and Switzerland. This department carries out what are the products can be certified through this TNOCD. All crop productions, all cereals, pulses, vegetables, whatever it may be, animal husbandry products, organic food processing, processed foods, and organic input manufacturing units, organic trade and export, and oil collection and honey. These are all comes under certification. How we do for this certification, how we have to do the procedures. Operators agreement with TNOCD, we have to put agreement with the farmer, whoever it may be, farmer or processing agency or exporter, whoever may be. First he has to put agreement with TNOCD. General details of the, if he is a farmer, he has to give the details of the farm, copy of the chitta, the cropping program on farm map, copy of PAN card, copy of soil and water test results. This is specific for a farmer, organic growing farmer. Registration renewal fee should be remitted in the form of demand draft taken in the favor of Director of Organic Certification payable at Coimbatore. The fees to be earned for individual farmers, for small and marginal farmers, totally he has to pay 2,700, for registration 500, inspection 1,000, travel fee 200, scope certificate. This is for the scope certificate is the final certificate given for the farmer to sell his produce. Okay. Individual farmers, other than small and marginal farmers, they have to bear 3,200 rupees. A group of farmers has to pay 7,200. Some corporates has to pay 9,400. This is the cost to be paid for the TNOCD for getting certifications. The registers to be maintained, record, daily works register. What are the daily operations carried out in the farm? For example, we consider as a farmer, daily activities. What are the activities? Weeding, what are the inputs he has applied to the crop? Like that, he has to record all the day activities, what he has done in the field. Input registers, what he has applied, what he has purchased. Production register, what he has produced for each and every crop. 3 to 4 harvests he might have done. For single each and every harvest, date wise, the quantity is to be mentioned. Sales register, he has maintained a sales register when he has sold the material. Crop production register, what are the procedures he has followed. Then inspection register. Whenever the TNOCD people inspects the field, he has to record the date of the inspection made. Like that, these are some basic registers to be maintained by the farmer. Thank you.